Hey y'all, this is Jason from Ginger Games, and today we're bringing a video on basics of Melee. Do you know if you want to be Melee or not? This could also help you. Melee is ones that fight up close, they don't fight from far away. If you enjoy fighting from far away, ranged is probably your thing. Ranged can be very dangerous and very fun. They're very squishy, but they can really deal out the damage if they're allowed to. But Melee likes to be up in the mix of it, likes to fight toe-to-toe with anything and everything. Usually there's a lot more action going on with Melee. Melee is probably one of the funner ones to do, especially if you're a rogue or something. You can be very sneaky and ambush people. They won't even know you're there. It can be quite a bit of fun in Melee. Melee is probably one of my most recommended classes. What I would probably do if you're going to try Melee is start out with the Warrior and maybe move on to something like a Paladin or a Melee Shaman or something. But let's start this video and let's get this going. This will be kind of a quick one. Just remember, this is just the basics, so nothing crazy. Okay, let's first talk about how to find your moves, how to look to see what you need to do to use them, and sort of a brief overview of your moves and your future moves. When you level, you get a new ability. And if you have room on your hotbar, it'll automatically put the new spell on that bar. If there's no room, it won't put it on that bar. You'll have to go into your spell book and get it. So now, let's say we just got Slam, which is on number 3. So it would have popped down there. But you would go over and you'd scroll over it, and it tells you exactly what Slam requires to activate. Okay, so it says here, Slam, 20 rage, instant, melee range. Melee range means that you have to be toe-to-toe with your opponent. You cannot shoot them from far away or hit them from far away in this case. But it tells you exactly what happens to, which is here in yellow, slams an opponent, causing 93 physical damage. Like, okay, well, that's cool. Well, I wonder what moves I'm going to get next. So then now, to figure that out, you can either push the P button, or you come over here and click on the spellbook and abilities to open it up. Here, this brings up all your spells that you currently have. In this case, there's only 4 because it's only a level 9. And the current spells that you have are the ones in color. The ones you don't have or you're going to get eventually are that grayish, brownish color. Here you can see the Slam is on here. We could scroll over top of it and get the exact same information as we did down there before. But what's nice also is that when we scroll over it, you see down there on the hotbar, it's all highlighted. It tells you exactly where that spell is. It is a really nice feature. That way you know if it's actually out there on your bar. There's a lot of times where I've run into where I don't know if it's down anywhere on any of my bars, and I'll put it down there, and then I'll have multiple of them on there, and it just takes up space. Because at some point, you're going to have 20 or 30 things all on these little bars, these little slots. So knowing where they are is nice. It does help quite a bit. As you can see here, I'll highlight different ones. Tells you exactly where they are. That's a nice feature. But from the spellbook, it also shows you when you're going to get your next abilities. So at level 10 here, you see we're going to get Mortal Strike. And then again, it tells you exactly what you need to have it. This one's a little bit different. You have to be in melee range. It's an instant cast, and it requires a 2-handed melee weapon, and it also has a 6-second cooldown, which means the cooldown means as after you activate it, you have to wait 6 seconds before you can use it again. That's all that means. But that's your basic spells and abilities. It's a very good feature. It helps you a lot. Okay, so our first move we're going to talk about is Charge. Charge is the most important move for the warrior because it gets them in and out of combat. Each class has their own way of getting themselves in and out. Most of the time, something with like a rogue has to ambush their target, usually from stealth, which is pretty fun. It's a little more advanced. That's why we're using the warrior again. But now we're going to show you how to know if you can activate your abilities, when they're available, when they're not available, etc. So here we have our unsuspecting adult plane strider. He's going to die again, but we're going to have him die in style. He's going to be on video. He's going to live forever. He's going to be immortal. If you see down at the bottom, you see that the charge it has a little red dot. That means it cannot be activated because whatever criteria has not been met for that ability. In this case, with the charge, it cannot be activated because we are not in range of the target. It turned gray. That means that now we can charge the target because we are in range. We haven't met the criteria for that move. Charge is nice because charge can attack a target outside of the aggro range of that target. So you can be farther away than that target would normally want to attack you. So like here we see this prairie wolf. This prairie wolf will not attack you unless you're within so many feet of it. Right now we are really far away from it, and as you see down here, it is red. So we're going to walk forward, and we're going to get in range of charge. See, we are now in range of the target, but not within his aggro range, so he won't attack us. So we can hit him first before he can hit us. But let's go back to our adult plane strider. And we're looking at our adult plane strider. The adult plane strider is unsuspecting, and we are ready to charge. So now we are going to charge. As you can see, though, before we charge in, Slam is grayed, Execute is grayed, and Victory Rush is grayed. We can't activate any of those abilities because either A, we have no rage, or B, the prerequisites have not been met. Okay, so now I am going to charge the target by pushing the charge button within range with the gray circle. So now I'm hitting the target. Okay, I turned off attack. So now we have built rage. If you look up here at the top, we have lots of rage. I'm going to scroll into it. So it shows that we have 75 of 100. Our max rage that we can have at one point is 100 rage. We have, now we're in the 80s. So we have plenty. If you see the moves down here, now they have turned gray. Victory Rush, Slam, and Execute are now all gray, which means we can activate them. To activate Slam, it requires 20 rage. We have 20 rage. We're good. Execute, we can activate it, but we have not met our prerequisite, which is that the target has to be below 20% health. They're not even close to that. They're still above 50. And Victory Rush, we can't do it because, again, you had to have killed something prior within 20 seconds. Okay, so my health's getting low now, so let's attack. I'm going to attack with the mouse so you can see what buttons I push. I'm going to use 3. Oh, and he's dead. So I'll loot with right-click, got him. Okay, now you see I have Victory Rush ready. So now we have to attack him within 20 seconds. It shows up here in the upper right how much time you have left. All right, so I'm going to charge and activate. As you can see, it did quite a bit of damage, and now my health is full again. It's a good move to keep the flow going, so you don't have to stop and eat food or whatever. The flow of the game can keep going. This is the benefit of the warrior. Somebody like the druid or like a paladin, they will use healing spells to get their health back up. That is their benefit. That's how they keep their flow going. Now in this situation here, sometimes you will find yourself fighting more than one enemy at once, and you need to either pick one that you are not currently fighting to kill first. Usually you try to kill the weaker ones first. So there are 2 methods for doing this, and one method is to use your mouse, and then the other method is to use the tab button. The tab button kind of has a mind of its own sometimes, so you have to be careful when using it. But when you have both the enemies directly in front of you, you can push the tab button to switch between the 2 targets. I'm going to demonstrate this here. I will aggro these two guys by getting within their aggro radius. Now I will click the tab button to switch between them. I go back and forth here and here. Now I gotta back out because I'm actually getting hit. But now I will engage to kill them. I want to kill one of them at a time. So I focus on one to kill him to get my victory rush available. After I kill him, a victory rush highlights, so then I select the other guy and attack him with the victory rush. And I use that victory rush to get myself healed, to give myself more time to survive, to try to kill the other one. As you can see, it's very effective to switch between targets. Attacking multiple targets can be kind of frustrating or hard, but the tab button is usually easier than having to click on the target with your mouse. I would try to learn to use the tab button, but again, it has a mind of its own. You got to learn it. Okay, now let's talk about trying to fight a single target. I use this big Kodo because they're easier to show. This guy's a level 12, so he's a lot higher than me. He's in orange. But there's that bird right there. I don't want to aggro both. I only want to fight just the Kodo. So I'll let the bird fly through and fly away. And now I have my opportunity. Now I can charge. So I'll charge, and I'll use him, and then I'll pull him back. I want to pull him out of that path that that bird was on so he doesn't come back up that same path and aggro to me. So now I've isolated him. Now I can kill him as normal, use him, fight him, use my execute, and put him away. Doing this method is very important. This will help you from getting overwhelmed and getting attacked by too many guys at once and getting killed. Okay, finally, going to talk about recognizing the type of enemy. Now, this guy, he does not have any name above his head. That basically tells you right away that he is not going to aggro to you. If the name is in yellow above his head, he will aggro to you. He'll try to attack you if you get too close. As you can see here, I'm getting as close as I can. This guy will never, ever attack you. But I have him highlighted here in yellow because I selected him. Now, I want to see his health versus trying to see it at the top of the screen. So I'll push V. As you can see here, V brought up the health bar below his name. This is a very helpful tool for being able to see when you have multiple targets in front of you. And as soon as I attack him, it turns to red. That tells you that he is mad at me, basically, and he's going to keep attacking me until he is dead or I am dead. So now he's gone. He's bye-bye. There's nothing. Now you see this wolf. He has red above his head because he will aggro if I get too close. He is a red enemy. Now, same thing. Health bar, off and on. It'll show it. I like it. I like being able to have everything in front of me versus looking around the entire screen. If you're on a smaller screen like a laptop or something, it's probably not as bad. But if you're using something like a bigger screen, like a 21 or a 24-inch screen, you know, pulling your... I know it doesn't sound like very much, but if you pull your eyes all the way up to the top and you look back down, you know, that little bit of travel time could cost you, you know, something important in your life or whatever. You may die in the game or something. I don't know. It sounds a little ridiculous, but over time you'll understand what I mean. But yes, V is very important, and knowing that the red and yellow is also important. In this video, we learned quite a bit about melee basics. It's more of a basic overview for you, but you need to learn most of this stuff on the fly. This is hopefully to help you so you don't get lost and get your butt kicked. But please have fun. This is Jason from Ginger Games. Please like, comment, and subscribe.